What's up? What's up? Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to another one. I'm Juby the Tubi, and you're here with family above everything. And apologize if I don't seem energetic or anything like that. I'm feeling a little bit pained right now, some spasms, and just out of it tonight, guys. But I had to come on here with my partner Zenray from Zenray Sports TV and talk about the future. Miles McBride, Emmanuel quickly. Man. We got the point guard answer right there. It's on the bench. I mean, what are we waiting for, Tibbs? What are you waiting for? Get this kid some minutes. You see what happens when you give him minutes? He does fantastic. So, salute to you guys in the chat. Like I said, I'm Joey the Tubi. You're here with family above everything. We're going to get Zenray in here for a second. The Knicks, I know the Rockets weren't a hard victory to come by, but we dominated pretty much the whole game with the exception of the third quarter. And Duce Mcbride, that is our future point guard. Give the kid some minutes. Tom Thibodeau, after this game, you got to give that kid at least 20 minutes a game. Put Alex Burke back on the bench as a scorer and start, Rose and have McBride back up Rose. Those are the answers right now, man, because this kid looks like he's the real deal. Hope you guys are staying safe. Again, I apologize. I'm not as energized. Having some back issues and lower back issues, but I couldn't stay away from you guys tonight. I had to come on here, show some love, and talk about the future. The Knicks finally snapped their 4-game losing streak. Evan Fournier finally had a good game. It's about time. I don't know if he had his Wheaties this morning or whatnot, but enough said. Let's get my partner in here. I know he's excited. He's always about the young core. So let's get his take of tonight's game.
Going over the stats, the Knicks are 13-16, and the Rockets are now 9-20 for the season. So, Juby, great evening. Rose started as we knew that he was going to, but we didn't know he was going to obviously get some kind of ankle injury. So, for precautionary reasons, I think they kept him out. It's nothing really serious, and they decided to put in the Duce man.
I was just going to say, man, salute to you guys. They didn't need Derrick Rose tonight. The young guys, the young studs, the future got a chance to audition tonight, and I hope Tibbs took notes. I hope he goes back and watches the replay because Tibbs, the answer to your point guard problems is right in front of you. Derrick Rose as your starter, McBride as your backup to Derrick Rose, and Emmanuel quickly, and put Alex Burke back as a scoring machine in that second unit. Crystal.
It's crystal clear. Crystal. I agree. And that's the key word tonight, crystal. Why? Because I think Thibodeau is looking into that crystal ball of the future for the future Knicks. And Obi Toppin obviously didn't play tonight because of the COVID protocols. And we had Duce McBride coming off the bench and really putting more minutes than he wanted to. But just imagine the Knicks had their whole unit. Obviously, people affected is who was affected still with the COVID? Just
RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin.
RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin, the two players that weren't there. And they weren't missed, but at the same time, if you lose to the fourth worst team in NBA, in the Houston Rockets, who only have 9 wins for the season. Detroit, I think, is the worst team right now. And then comes the Thunder. And then it's between two other teams. I think the Rockets are the fourth worst team. If you can't beat the Rockets, regardless if you are home in the backyard, at the Garden, this would have been some serious issues. And as much as we've been bashing Fournier, look, this is the type of play you're going to get in Fournier. Fournier in 28 minutes at 23 points. He showed when he's hot, that's the type of player. 19 million reasons why he's going to be in that lineup. And Randall is still continuing to stir the drinks. 32 minutes of play with 21 points. He had 3 turnovers. He had 6 assists and he had 6 rebounds. A solid performance with him. I was getting a little bit irritated with his ISO ball. As soon as he came out, you saw the young kid just rotating the ball. And guess Mr. Quickly came to play because Mr. Quickly hit 7 3-pointers. They were short-handed. and they beat the Rockets 116-103.
Well, you listen, well said. Fournier, I guess, like I was just gonna touch up on that. Looks like he ate his Wheaties this morning, because he broke out of his little slump. Combined him and Randall, the
We forgot
powerhouse
to mention
unit.
we forgot to mention Quentin Grimes as the other third
Oh, that's
COVID
right. Quentin Grimes
protocol.
is in
Yeah,
COVID
so
protocol.
OB, Quentin Grimes, and RJ Barrett. I'm sorry, continue.
No, you're good. Julius Randle and this guy Evan Fournier had 44 points combined. It's
Right.
very rare that we have that. So it was a blessing. But listen, we saw what this young team can do. We saw the alley oops to Mitchell Robinson. Let's not forget our man Mitchell Robinson. He finally came out of his shell in that fourth quarter. With he was dominant. Yeah, you could tell he was the center. He was dominating inside the paint. And Mr. Taj Gibson got a little bit ahead of himself. He shot a three, and then he started going buck wild a little bit. He was kind of lost in his own sauce. I guess he thought he was back
It's
10
okay.
years ago and he could shoot.
It's
But
all good.
listen, it was a lot of fun. I love what I saw from the young kids. I just hope RJ and OB are okay, and Grimes, and we can get this team back on track. And hopefully tonight is the beginning of something to come. What do you think about what we said? Do you think Tom Thibodeau is going to
I think
continue
you're
with this path?
absolutely right. I think that the Knicks, by showing what they have in that bench and what we have in the G League, because McBride is up
Oh,
and down from the
sorry.
G League.
One more
Coming.
player. It just came to my mind, Mr. Kevin Knox.
Oh, he's in the protocol as
COVID
well.
protocol. Yes, sorry.
My, wow, yeah, that's right. We forgot about Knox. Well, our apologies to Kevin Knox, man. But yeah, look, regardless that we don't have four players on this team, and that's why you saw a lot of Duce McBride. The Knicks came to play. The Knicks out rebounded Houston 40-29. That was a big difference in the game. Alex Burks and Mitchell Robinson both had 9 rebounds. Just think about it. Your guard, Alex Burks, had 9 rebounds. Nolan Sewell had multiple block shots for the second straight game, and for the sixth time this season. The Knicks have won 5 straight over the Rockets, which you should beat a team like that after losing 27 of the previous 29 meetings prior to that. So,
Wow.
this looks good, and we play. Don't forget, we play Boston. Now, this is the
Test.
nitty gritty comes. You have to go to Boston, and Saturday night, which is a couple of nights from now, and the Rockets head down to Detroit to find out who's going to be the worst team this year. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to that game tonight. I'm looking forward for the Knicks to play Boston. That's one of my biggest rivalry. Like, I like that Boston competition. I love when we
sure.
play, Brooklyn as well. Those are my favorite games to watch because there's a lot of history behind those games. So let me go with the numbers a bit. I'll let you have numbers in front of you, Juby.
No, go right ahead, man. The statistics is your thing. But yeah, listen, let's hear it,
So
man. Because
Evan Fournier, like we said, 28 minutes of play, 23 points. Combined, like you said, Randall him up 44 points. We had Brooks 9 points, but he had 9 rebounds and he had 1 assist. So he hit the boards. Obviously, when you have quickly the way he's been playing, and he was off from the field. It was 2 from 10 from the field, 1 for 2 from the 3-point range. And you have McBride hitting shots. McBride numbers in 36 minutes of play was 6-11 from the field, 2 from 5 from the free 3-point range. Like I said, he had 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals. This guy played defense. Were you watching him? He was he was annoying the other point guards on the team, and he was on top of them constantly. When do you see that from our Nick guards? Besides Rose, that once in a while does that.
I just before we came on live right now, I asked you, and you were the one who made me remember about Derrick Rose. But I asked you, when's the last time we had a point guard have 9 assists on this team who facilitated the ball the way he did? And I told you guys in a previous show, the kid is hungry. The kid he's not scared. He has the desire. He has the heart, and I love that about him. His body language bleeds orange and blue. You can just see it in his game. And again, I listen. You've been talking about him all season, Ray. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was ready to sit there and say all hands on deck on that Ben Simmons trade, no matter what it takes. But
you don't really need to do that now. You really don't need to do it because I think if you look at Ben Simmons is probably one of the best defenders at his position. But you look at McBride, he's not as tall as Ben Simmons, but for 6'1", he plays like he's 6'8". I
Yeah,
mean, he got slammed on even going for a block on the. That tells you this kid does everything. And he missed that slam dunk that came off the rim on a rebound. He almost slammed it in. That would have been electrifying. Duce McBride is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen it through his college days. We've seen it in the summer league. Now
and the
we've
G
seen it in
League.
the G League. And now you saw a sampling right now in his first game playing 36 minutes for the Knicks. So did we draft well by getting Grimes and McBride? And we didn't pick up Rukovic, the other point guard from, I think, Lithuania.
Oh, we let him go, right?
No, he still signed with us. He just went abroad to get more practice. So
Oh,
we
okay.
have 2 point guards of the future, and he's playing very well. And even in the summer league, he played very well for the Knicks. I can't pronounce his name, but he starts with an R. I can't pronounce it, but the Knicks.
Rookers.
Yeah, think about the draft that they had this year, and that the topping of the cake, Jericho Sims. Whoever drafted for the Knicks this year, tell me about the players that in the next 2-3 years you've made a 4-man rotation on a team. Grimes, your shooting guard. Duce, your point guard. Jericho Sims, your
The big man.
the big man, your center. And who's the fourth guy?
Quickly.
The other point guard that can and they got the guy from Washington who's a power forward. His name is Sims as well. He's playing well down in the G League as well. The Knicks have created something here that I love. You say free OB, free the young kids as well.
Agreed. The only thing that scares me is I pray to the Knick gods and to the NBA fans out there that this is not a showcase that we're doing. Believe me, Quentin Grimes and Deuce McBride ain't going nowhere. If we're gonna showcase anybody, let's find another piece. But as far as the Ben Simmons thing, man, after tonight, if this was a taste of what's yet to come, maybe we can bluster our roster with shooting maybe better, a little bit better. I'm not saying our shooting is our problem, but maybe, and I'm gonna throw a name. I know you guys saw him play tonight. He didn't play a fantastic game, but somebody that's a 3-point shooter that can just come off the bench and give you a couple of shots, like a Eric Gordon. I don't know if what price range the Houston Rockets would be looking for. If you can give up some draft picks to just get another shooting scorer here as a backup, just in case Evan Fournier or Alex Burke are either injured or off that night, you have a backup player. But as far as Ben Simmons, listen, you said it. Like I said, Ray, I listened to you all season, and I was like, yeah, okay, Deuce McBride is the future. How many years we've been waiting for the young kids to come up and do something? And listen, the kid shut me up. The kid is the real deal. He's not lost in the sauce. The kid is stirring that sauce.
Oh yeah. Look, I love this. Look, let's be realistic at this point. The only reason that Deuce was there was because of the injuries and people not being the COVID protocol. Tibbs already has his 9/10 man rotation, depending who he puts on for that 10th man. But Deuce McBride, after what you saw tonight, he's not going to get a lot of playing. Most of his playing time is going to be the G League. But it's good to know that if somebody goes down,
you don't think they'll put him as a backup? You don't think they'll put him as Derrick Rose's backup?
Quickly, you have Burks. There's no room for him.
I don't like Alex Burke as my point guard. CP also, the franchise says the same thing. Like I said, I'm a big fan of his. He's the one who made me want to do this as well, just for watching him over the years. But listen, he said it as well. Alex Burke is not a point guard. Can he do it on fill-in if somebody gets hurt or whatever? Sure, but do not pencil that man as a point guard starter or a rotation backup point guard. Put him as your scorer off the bench. Start Derrick Rose. I'll even give the keys as reserve to Emmanuel Quickly as the backup point guard. If you don't want to give it to Deuce McBride, give it to Quickly. Just don't give it to this
Let
guy.
me ask you that. I mean, you made a lot of good points. Let me ask you this. Right now, it's going to be, like you said, Rose and Quickly. And who's going to take Quickly's spot? It's not going to be Deuce. It's going to be Grimes. Grimes can shoot that ball. And I'm not saying Deuce can't do it, but you have enough guards there to cover that point guard situation. Then, the last resort is the first, second, third resort is Julius Randle, who can bring the ball up. So we're covered in that area for now. But I'm saying, barring injury, some crazy injury, God forbid Rose goes down, which it could happen. Then you'll see quickly going up, moving up, and you have McBride coming right behind him. So there's an injury away from McBride being there, and it's good and comfortable, and it feels good to know that you have somebody who can replace someone. And without a blink of an eye, the guy could have had a double-double easily this evening. I was praying that he gets that last assist. It didn't happen, but I'm good with it. Let me go over some stats of the starters for
Don't forget the free throws. Don't forget the free throws. Touch upon the free throws. We shot well from the free throw line tonight.
We shot definitely well from the free throw line. We shot a total of 84%. And like I said, we out-rebounded them. And we had 25 assists. We were moving the ball around, which I love. The Rockets had 29, so they were doing the same thing. The Rockets were a pesky team. They have young talent. I'm going to bring a couple of names up that I love on that team. Points in the paint. Actually, the Rockets dominated us 46-40. We had the largest lead was 18. Their largest lead was 2. They were battling. They're a young team. They shot 50% from the field. They shot 34% from 3. We shot 47 from the field and 47 from 3. We were 21 from 25 on the free throw line, and we were 17 for 36 from 3. The Knicks.
So what do you think, based on stats, what do you think we won this game at tonight?
Tonight? Well,
yeah,
definitely.
Based on stats.
Definitely, we shot 6 more threes. We got in. We shot 47%. The rebounding department, obviously, and the assist department, in the steal department, we killed them in the steal department and the block department. And what we wanted is in the turnovers. We only had 12. Excuse me, and Houston at 19. So Houston had 29 points off our turnovers. We had 15 off theirs. So we won it in the free throw line, 3-point range, and the rebound department. But you saw, like I saw the other night, when Mcbride is in there, there's a calming influence for him. Like, what he's doing. Like, I didn't see no blunders in his game. I don't know. I can't say that he lost. Maybe he lost an assignment or two, but he was solid. And that's the type of future the Knicks have. I am so happy. I know it's against the Houston Rockets, but I am so happy.
21 years old. That's what we got to remember, guys. The kid is 21.
So I don't know. Yeah, he's 21. We have a lot of guys here. Like I said, McBride, and we've got Grimes, and we have Jericho Sims as our future here. It's a bright future for the Knicks, and this was without our 3 players that were out for COVID. And I'm glad in a sense that this happened in a sense. I'm not happy to have COVID, but I'm happy that it just showcased our young future for the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah, the future is bright. Orange and blue skies are on the horizon. When that will be, I mean, I saw in the third quarter they got a little bit of stagnant. Julius Randle was in the game. Got a little bit of ISO, like you like to say it, a la Melo, who was a good term you used to use. So, did he play a bad game? No, he did not. Did he try to do ISO a couple of times? He did, and he failed at the majority of those times that he tried to do it. But luckily we had Duce and we had Quickly to kind of set the tempo of the offense. And you saw once that happened, we were able to prevail and we were able to come out on top with this W. Like I said, I'm looking forward to R.J. Barrett and Obi Toppin back in this lineup. I just hope they give the same treatment that they gave to Grimes. Excuse me, I don't want to leave Grimes out because Grimes had a phenomenal game the other night. I just want them to show the love the way they're showing the love to Grimes and McBride. I want Obi to get that same love because I know what that guy can do. And in my opinion, and I still firmly believe he can do what Julius does. Or he will do what Julius does. Maybe he's not Julius's talented level yet because he's still so raw in a sense. But if you give that man the playing time, he can develop. And his future, I mean, I don't know if his future is going to be here with us, but if you trade him to Oklahoma City Thunder or anything like that, any of these guys are starters. Any of them.
Sure. I agree. Listen, Randall is still the man who stirs the drinks. We need more drinks. Yeah, we still the man. He needs to have more production. At least he shot the ball better a little tonight. Like you said, he got into the ISO game, and when that happened, the team stagnant. and he was missing his shots, a few shots, and it just made Houston come back against us. But let's go back to Quickly, because Quickly is the one who won this game or pulled away the Knicks away from making the game so close. Because if it wasn't for Quickly, he shot 70% from 3-point range.
Oof.
He was 7 for 10. How hot was he? 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 7 for 13 from the field. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He had 4 turnovers. It was a plus 19, and he had 24 points. So he was a high man tonight. So if Foul Quickly tonight, this game could have been real close, or we'd probably lose this game. So Quickly was the savior tonight for the Knicks. McBride, we saw in him.
And Mitchell Robinson in that fourth quarter, man. Let's not forget Money Mitch.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, 30 minutes of play. He was 8 from the field. A lot of them was island oops, easy shots that McBride and Quickly kind of tossed to him. And he had 9 rebounds. He had 3 block shots. Noel had 2 block shots, 4 rebounds. Combined, I mean, he didn't score any points, but Mitchell Robinson had 17 points. Let's not forget that. So this bench for the Knicks, if you look at their numbers, they had for 17, 7, 53 points off the bench. When your bench scores 53 points,
it's a good
that's
day.
A winning formula. That's a winning formula right there. I just want to mention a couple players I was impressed with. This guy Sagoon,
the center.
He only had 1 point. Yes, he's a rookie this year. He showed toughness against the Knicks, even though he didn't play a great game stat wise. But I think this kid is going to be a player. The guy who I was really impressed off the bench was Kenyon Martin Jr., the small forward. In 29 minutes of play, he was 6 from 10 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3-point range. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and he had 15
any relation
points.
to Kenyon Martin, who used to play for the Knicks and Nets?
Yes, correct. Kenyon Martin Jr. That's the son. Yeah,
That's the son.
He looked very good. And then you had Tate for 20 points, and then the center, who was killing us, Daniel Dyson, with 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist. Sorry, I'm getting this bad cough. But he was a plus 10. Daniel Diaz, I'm sorry. He is from Germany, and he was giving fits to the Knicks. And look, they have some nice young key players here. This is kind of the same kind of youth system I want the Knicks to kind of engage in. Follow what the Houston is doing in other teams. So that 2 or 3 year plan, you have something to build. So you build with Fournier and Randall because they're the big money guys. You have Rose, who's a little older. You have Quickly, Grimes, Duce. Bring these guys up slow like you've been doing. You've got a taste of Duce and Grimes. Duce scored his 15 points, had 9 assists, and Grimes had 26 points the other night, 27 points. Look, the future is bright. I'm looking forward us playing Boston. I think that these guys may be out, so we're probably going to see more of Duce playing on the road at Boston Garden. That should be exciting, Juby.
That's definitely going to be exciting. We're going to Boston, so they're going to be looking for a little bit of payback. Jason Tatum, especially, and Brown will probably try to. I'm hoping R.J. Barrett at least is back, so so he can play against Brown. But I'm comfortable with Duce guarding him. And that's something that you got to be thankful for when you got a player defensive like that and Alex Burke, who are defensive stoppers. You don't worry too much. It's just the fact that I'm such a big RJ Barrett fan. I want him to succeed so much in this league, and Obi Toppin as well, that I want them to play. And Kevin Knox, unfortunately, we went into COVID protocol. We saw bleeps of Kevin Knox returning to his former self, and I hope when he comes back that he continues to do that and he gets some playing time, because the kid, he got game still, man. Let's not forget about him. I know he's been 3 years now with us, 4 years.
Yeah,
just about 3.
He's going on his 4th year now.
Going on his 4th. Yeah, so they kind of wrote him off because of the whole coaching situation and David Fizdale and everything like that. So never really got an opportunity. But now with Tom, we'll see. The only thing is that Tom likes to stick with his veterans. I'm hoping, like I said, somebody's talking in his ear, especially after tonight's. Maybe he goes home and has a glass of wine, talks to his wife or his sons, and then they tell him, Dad, the young kids are the solution to your problem. And he says, you know what, guys? I think you're right. And he surprises us, you know?
Yeah, look, right now, what we saw tonight, once again, is against the Houston Rockets. But what I saw the Houston Rockets, maybe they don't have the talent that we usually play day in, day out, but they hustle, they play hard. In a team like that, if you mess around with a team like that, they could easily beat you. And if it wasn't for Quickly's outburst and scoring 23 points,
Would have been a lot
uh,
closer.
who knows what this game could have, how close this game could have been, and hitting those big threes. He had 7 threes, hit 70% from the 3-point range. So that was an amazing night for Quickly. I'm looking forward for the game Saturday night. We'll be on after probably Sunday morning. We'll do a recap show. I'm very, very happy that the Knicks showcasing their young talent. I think it puts the Knick Nation at ease knowing that these kids are available. The only drawback is you're going to get a lot of Knick fans who are going to be asking and calling at the Garden when the Knicks are not going well. They're going to be saying Duce and Grimes. Duce, Duce. You're going to be hearing that in the crowd, and then you're going to hear Grimes' name as well. So look out for that when they have these low moments in the season. But I expect the Knicks, like you said, to bounce back. Nolan Noel seems like he's back and getting back and forth. Mitchell Robinson is playing well. It's a collective thing. Fournier is playing well. He has off nights like anybody else, so we can't come down on him. The thing is, the Knicks don't have the continuity. It seems like they're starting to find their identity, hopefully. But they need more continuity, more time playing together, more time gelling. And I think as the season goes on and further during the season, you're going to see this team gelling perfectly. And you're going to see Thibodeau now having the matchups that he knows, the players he has available to make the Knicks run and play better collectively as a unit.
Well said. Nick Nation, listen, my birthday is next Friday. I'm turning the big 4-0, and all I want is for the Knicks to go on a run. I want the Knicks I want that same attitude. We're here. I want that same spark. I want the same talk of the town. I want Stephen A. Smith to eat his words like he did what he said the other night that the Knicks are bums. Like, these are the things I want. So if I can have that birthday gift from the Knick gods and the NBA gods out there, I'll be a happy 40-year-old man come next Friday. Let's go on a little winning streak. Let's beat Boston, and 100% for Christmas. I want us to beat Mr. Trae Young, and I want Duce to kind of play. And when he shoots a three and locks him down, I want him to do a shimmy also.
I know. I remember that from last year. It was kind of frustrating to see him showcase his talents at the Garden and beating the Knicks. I mean, I didn't like that too much, but I like the fact that the Knicks are looking. I mean, like I said, you're playing the Houston Rockets. There's no reason why you should be losing to a team like that. I mean, it would have been, even if this game was close, I would have had some negativity behind it because that means there's something still wrong. But like I said, they needed to blow them out. They kind of blew them out. So the Knicks are playing December 18th at 7 p.m. on NBA TV. The 12 and 16 Knicks play the 14 and 14 Boston Celtics at Boston Garden. And then from there on, we play the Detroit Pistons come to New York. And then the Wizards come to New York after that, December 23rd. December 21st, the Pistons, like I said, that should be a game we should win. And if we could go on a little run by beating Boston, then the Pistons and beat the Wizards, and then we play that big game against the Hawks on Christmas Day at 12 p.m. And then they play the Timberwolves after that. You can easily go on a 6-7 game winning streak. And I think now that the Knicks know what formula they have, Grimes, Duce, Sims, if you need them off the bench, you have these guys available. But free Obi, free the young studs. Just keep the lineup as it is. Bring up Rose as your starter. Bring up quickly a Duce as your backup point guard. And if you stick to that formula, the Knicks have a bright future.
Well said. Absolutely, man. Well, that pretty much. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about, Zenray, but that's pretty much. I think we touched upon everything tonight. We came out with a solid victory against a young, versatile, hungry Houston Rockets. Don't let their record fool you because they are still very talented. There's a reason they're in the NBA. But luckily we have people like Quickly and Mitchell Robinson and Duce to kind of shut the door and company. And like I said, Saturday we got Boston. It's going to be a test of will. I know Boston is only 14-14, but again, do not pay attention to teams' records this season. The Eastern Conference is wide open, and there's a lot of good teams out there. You mentioned your favorite rivalries are Knicks and Boston. For me, it's Knicks and Bulls,
Right, right.
Knicks and Heat. These are especially with the Bulls. These are the ones that I grew up with, and now my most hated team, believe it or not, is the one right across the river right there. Is Brooklyn, and only because they want this house. But little do they know, the city belongs to New York. It's always orange and blue skies, baby.
All right, your blue skies. So the Knicks are 12th seed right now in the East. They play the Celtics, like I said, who are the 10th seed, and then the Hawks are 14-14 as well. So if we win 6-7 games, we're back on the top. We'll be back in the top 5 and 6 respectively. But it takes a winning streak that we haven't had this year as of yet to propel us back to where we belong. So with that said, Zen Ray out. That everybody, including the Knick Nation, to be engaged, love, peace, and just passion for our Knicks, knowing that the best is yet to come.
There it
Jimmy,
is. You didn't give it to me last show, so I was a little upset. You didn't say your little phrase, so I'm happy now. Well said.
all right, Jimmy. Take care of that back of yours, buddy.
All right, brother. Have a great night, man. Stay
Guys,
safe,
Zen Ray
man.
out. Take care. Good night.
All right, guys. That was Zen Ray with Zen Ray Sports TV. Great guy. Known him for over 5 years right now. Big Knick fan. Me and him, decided to do this show because while we work, this is what we did. We spoke about the Knicks, what they can do, who they can draft, speculations, rumors. So, we both have this passion of the Knicks, and we decided to come together and bring this little program for you guys. So, with that said, guys, stay safe, stay humble, go New York, go New York, go. And as always, family above everything. Stay safe, guys. Peace.
We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.